Hello, my dear students. I welcome all of you to Unified Council Olympiads. So, in our today's session, we are going to discuss the previous year questions of NST Class 8 Chemistry. Okay, so let's get started. Our first question: read the information given below on group P, Q, and R respectively, along with some substances in the box. Group P, man-made resources. Group Q, adjustable natural resources. Group R, inadjustable natural resources. Identify an option with correct groups of resources. Okay, and these are air, coal, detergents, natural gas, sunlight, polythene, black gold, minerals, forest, oxygen, and the given options are A, group P 3, 6, group Q 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, group R 1, 5, 10. Option B, group P 3, 6, 8, group Q 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, group R 1, 5. Option C, group P 3, 6, group Q 2, 7, 8, 9, group R 1, 4, 5. D, group P 3, 11, 8, group Q 2, 7, 8, 10, group R 1, 4, 5 and 9. Okay, so as we know, group P that includes the man-made resources. What are the man-made resources? These are the resources which are prepared by human beings. Okay, and group Q, adjustable natural resources. These are the natural resources which are present in limited quantity in the nature. So if we go on using it in excess, then it cannot be replenished. It will be adjusted. Okay, then the group are inadjustable natural resources. These are the natural resources which are present in excess. So if we go on using it in a large amount, it is not going to be adjusted. Okay, it will be replenished. So now we have to find out the which of the following resources belongs to which group. So if we first see group P, that is man-made resources. So man-made resources, detergent is the man-made resources and also polythene. Coming to group Q, that is adjustable natural resources. So coal, then natural gas, black gold, you know black gold, that is petroleum, then minerals and forest. These are included in adjustable natural resources. Then the next one, group R, that is the that is the inadjustable natural resources. So this includes air, then sunlight and oxygen. Okay, so the correct option that will be a group P, which includes 3, then 3, 6. Okay, then group Q, which includes 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, and group R, that is 1, 5 and 10. So which one is the correct answer? Correct answer is option A. Got it? So coming to the next question, two elements P and Q on burning in air form respective oxides that are soluble in water. The aqueous solution of oxide of P is alkaline and reacts with aqueous solution of oxide of Q to form another compound. What could be P and Q? Options are A, P and Q both are metals. B, P and Q both are non-metals. C, P is a metal and Q is a non-metal. D, P is a non-metal and Q is a metal. Okay, so we have two elements P and Q which on burning in air form respective oxides which are soluble in water. So the aqueous solution of oxide of P is alkaline. So aqueous solution means if any substance is dissolved in water and it is forming the solution, then it is the aqueous solution. So aqueous solution of oxide of P is alkaline. So here oxides of P, that is alkaline. So what is alkaline? The base which is soluble in water is alkaline. Okay, so its nature is alkaline. So oxides of P, in general, the metal oxides, these are basic in nature. Okay, so if the oxide of P is alkaline in nature, when it is dissolved in water, that means the P, it is definitely a metal. Got it? Now this oxide of P reacts with aqueous solution of oxides of Q. So here oxide of P react with aqueous solution of oxide of Q. Okay, so we know that oxide of P, that is the aqueous solution, it is alkaline in nature. So oxide of Q, what will be its nature? So an alkaline solution, it is not going to react with an alkaline solution. Okay, an alkaline solution will react with an acidic solution. That means oxide of Q, it is acidic in nature. And you know the non-metal oxides, these are generally acidic in nature. So non-metal oxides, these are acidic in nature. That means Q, it is a non-metal. Got it? So we find that P is a metal and Q is a non-metal. So the correct answer is option C. P is a metal and Q is a non-metal. Coming to the next question, an experimental setup is shown here. Which of the following represents the correct observation and inference? So you can see here, candle is there, water, paper, pen, wire mesh, tripod stand. Observation and inference are given for all the options. For option A, the paper pan catches fire and water spills all over the wire mesh. Inference, paper is inflammable. Option B, paper pan does not catch fire. Inference, paper has very high ignition temperature. C, paper pan does not catch fire. Inference, water in the pan absorbs heat from the candle flame. Then paper pan does not catch fire. Water vapors condense back to water and do not let the paper burn. Okay. So as we can see, paper pan is there and water is present here. Okay. And we are heating this paper pan using a candle. So what is going to happen here? So definitely here the paper pan does not catch fire. Okay. Now the question is why it will not catch fire? Because here the paper pan, it is unable to attain the ignition temperature. Okay. So you know what is ignition temperature? It is the minimum temperature at which a combustible substance catches fire. So if we go on heating the paper pan, of course the paper pan, it will be heated, right? But in that paper pan, inside that paper pan, water is there. So heat that will be transferred from the paper pan to water also. Now that heat, it is shared between paper pan and water is also heated. So as water is absorbing the heat from the paper pan, that's why the paper, it is unable to attain its ignition temperature. Okay. So here the correct answer is option C. So paper pan does not catch fire. So why? Because water in the pan absorbs the heat from the candle flame. Okay. And do not let the paper attain its ignition temperature. Got it, everyone? Now coming to the next question. Identify the correct composition of coal gas. Options are A, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, benzene. B, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, methane. C, hydrogen, carbon monoxide, methane. D, all of the above. So the coal gas, it is a mixture of hydrogen and carbon monoxide and methane. Okay. So this coal gas, that is used as a fuel also, and how it is obtained? It is obtained from the destructive distillation of coal. Got it? So correct answer is hydrogen, carbon monoxide, methane, which is present in option C. Coming to the next question, read the given statements. 1. Polyesters are synthesized from petroleum products. 2. Synthetic fibers are generally thin, fine and continuous, while natural fibers are usually short. 3. Thermosetting plastics can be molded again and again. 4. The cooling stage required to break a material is called its tensile strength. So, identify the correct statement on fibers and plastics. So, the first option, that is polyesters are synthesized from petroleum product. Yes, this one is correct. So, polyester, it is a fiber which we synthesize from the petroleum product. Got it? The second one, synthetic fibers are generally thin, fine and continuous, while the natural fibers are usually short. This one is also correct. The next one, thermosetting plastics can be molded again and again. This one is not correct because thermosetting plastics, they cannot be molded again and again. So there is a type of plastic that is known as thermoplastics. Yes, this can be molded again and again. So this statement is incorrect. Then the last one, the cooling stress required to break a material is called its tensile strength. Yes, this is also correct. To break a material, whatever cooling stress is required, it is known as the tensile strength. So here the correct statements are option 1, 2 and 4. Got it, everyone? So this much for today's session. Let's meet you in the next session. Till then, read mindfully, practice all the questions properly. Okay? So meet you soon. Bye bye, everyone.